Welcome to week 2 of my Survivor review. Might be my final week, I don't know, we'll see. So this week's episode starts out with a recap of sorts, with Troyzan saying that he wants to be known as the greatest survivor of all time. Well, here's my wish list that's pretty much on par with Troyzan's wish list. I would like to be able to eat marshmallows and crap out gold coins. Also, I wish my eyeballs were diamonds that could shoot lasers. That'd be cool. You hear that, big guns? Make it happen. So the episode actually starts off with the girls coming back from tribal council. And the first thing we see is Michael confronting the girls and saying, FYI, I took care of the fire for you. Mike, FYI, people who say FYI are generally douches. FYI. So then we have the summit between Alicia and Christina. They wanted to squash the beef when they got back from tribal council. And Alicia tells Christina that she would never tell her to shut up. And you know what? I believe her. Because she'd probably say, shut the
Make love.
up, you stupid
Making love. Female dog.
She comes from the streets. So next up we have the reward challenge, or the DIY reward challenge. Jeff Probst is nowhere to be found. I don't know if he had jury duty that day, or if he had a dentist appointment, but no Jeff Probst. I don't know what was going on, but I do know one thing: it should never happen again. If you can't have the anchor of this show administering the challenge, then you better fly in one of these returning players you like to bring back all the time and have them administer the challenge. It's the best of both worlds. You can get those jokers back on TV and not have them actually playing the game. Anyway, back to the challenge. So, spoiler, the guys win their second challenge in a row, and the challenge entails untangling or untying a rope. So this actually seems like a great metaphor for the girls' tribe, because for the life of them, they can't untangle or untie the mess that they have there and get their act together. So next up we have Colton's meltdown. He alienates himself from his own tribe and annoys the women's tribe all in one afternoon. Now last season we had Cochran, this season we have Colton, both of which are super fans of the show. And you know what? They're giving super fans a bad reputation because these two idiots get on the show and just play the worst game they could possibly play. I'd never play a game like this. You'd think that Colton, being a huge fan of the show, would at least want to make the jury, but he's not going to make the jury with this kind of gameplay. I don't care if he has an idol. If those idiots that he's aligned with on his own tribe are smart enough, they're going to flush that idol anyway. Plus, Colton has that personality that you're just going to mark for implosion. If I were playing this game, I'd look at everybody who I'm playing with, and you can mark the people that you don't even have to put any effort towards getting rid of, because they're going to implode, and Colton is one of them. So somewhere along the way during Colton's meltdown, Jonas brings up the name Russell. And it's really not important what he said, because the comment wasn't really that insightful anyway. But come on, CBS. Give me a break. Just because someone brings up the name Russell doesn't mean you have to put it on TV. Alright? Russell was entertaining, but Survivor is more interesting than Russell. Okay? We don't need to have mention of him every single season. Let it rest. Maybe 2-3 seasons, then you can bring him back. So up next is the immunity challenge. And guess who shows up? Jeff Probst. I guess he got his filling or was done with jury duty. Anyway, at first look on this challenge, I thought, oh my God, we're going to have Colton sexually harassing everybody, and there is no way anybody's going to get past Alicia's badonkadonk. But as it turns out, I was wrong on both counts. It looked like it was Bill who was maybe nuzzling up on some necks and maybe licking a couple of earlobes. And it was the girls' taters, not Alicia's badonkadonk, that made it difficult for the women. Oh, and let's not forget Kat's stupidity. So when it was all said and done, the men won their third in a row. So the girls get back to their camp and they have this big discussion group, like everything's out in the open. And they decide it's down to either Nina or Kat. Now last week, I think I was a little hard on the kitty cat. I said something about, brain tumor, removing the brain instead of the tumor. I apologize. That was highly, highly insensitive of me. As it turns out, she really did have open heart surgery, and that's a very serious thing. In fact, it was so serious that during the surgery, her brain died. Which brings us to a new feature on this show, which is called This Week in Dumb, featuring Kat. So last week, Kat was talking with Kim, and Kim had mentioned that she'd like fire to add to the ambiance. And Kat was like, "What? What's ambia? What's that? Is that van that when you get hurt brings you to the hospital?" That was last week. This week, during the immunity challenge, the most important challenge of the episode, Kat just up and decides, I'm going to jump in the water a couple times when I don't have to. Now, to be fair, Kat wasn't the only problem child during that challenge, but she was a big reason that they lost it. So as logic would dictate, since Kat was a major part of screwing up the challenge, the girls vote out Nina. Woo! Look at the time. I'm running long. Let's put this into turbo and speed past the finish line. What you need to do right now is you need to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you need to follow me on Twitter, @SurvivorTrev. So this week we started a little game. It was at the suggestion of my Facebook friend Dean. Basically that game is, you suggest a word to me, no matter how ridiculous, and I will incorporate it into the show. Now, obviously I can't incorporate everybody's suggestion, so I will pick the best suggestion every week. You can give me your suggestion via Twitter or in the comments section down below in this video. So that's all I got for you. So I'll see you guys in episode 3. Maybe.